Hello, 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 y'all. It is going to be Preschool Palooza today. I'm sure that you have heard the whole idea of preschool is the foundation of your businesses, right? We have to build our preschool group for it to really shine and to be the foundation because then they can grow up with you, right? So, in today's episode, I have brought on some of the best in the industry, and we are going to be sharing our juicy tips and tricks with you. So then that way you guys can walk away and have some things to implement. Now, so if you're joining this, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. Good morning, Michelle. Good afternoon. Yes, right? Good morning, Vernon. Say hello to us. We want to know that you're here. And this is a conversation. This isn't about us just talking to you. Hey. About talking at your faces. So if something resonates with you, I would love for you to lean in, type it in, #nugget. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. For two reasons. One, it helps us to anchor in the ideas. But two, for those people who are coming in on the replay, they'll be like, ooh, I want to lean in a little bit closer. Hey. Okay. I love seeing you guys this morning. So, my friends, we're a learn out loud here. And if you somehow we have danced the magic on with us this morning. Yes, right? So excited. So, if you're joining us, say what's up. Let us know that you're here. I have to tell you that if you stumbled upon this somehow, I'm Erin Bird, and I work with dance studio owners and educators to really grow their businesses without the burnout and the overwhelm or sacrificing your personal life. But I have to tell you that my heart is with those tiny tots. That's where I started. I love them to freaking pieces, and they fill my heart with so much joy. So today we're gonna dive in to that preschool rec situation, and we're gonna share some nuggets with you. Now I'm gonna bring on all of the guests, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself because you guys today it's like bananas, but it's gonna be so good. So let me start bringing in some friends here. Everyone is gonna be coming in today. All right. Hey, right? We are all like, I know. Where are my freaking hand clappers, y'all? I'm missing my hand clap. I know. Make your hand. Okay. Woohoo! Yes, it's gonna be so good. So we're just gonna go around in our screen and let you all introduce yourself. So Becca, I'm gonna have you go first since you're first in my screen. But go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know who you are, and then we'll just kind of keep going around. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I think we are a super group, if I do say so myself. Go for it, Becca.
Okay, well, hi, I'm Becca Rutter, and I'm part of Music Works Unlimited, and I create a bunch of age-appropriate, fun, usable material for preschool and rec kids. Yeah, that's what I do. Also, I just recently started teaching at a very large studio, so I'm really back in it, which is making me excited for all the new material I'm going to be creating. And just like all of you guys out there, well, some of you, most of you, starting recitals this weekend, and I've got 11 of them. So
We are praying for you. Right? 11. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Miss Julie K, you're next.
Hi, everybody. I am Julie K. Stallcup, and stereotyped as a preschool teacher for sure. But I think one of my favorite things in the world is teaching advanced kids. I just don't ever put it out there. So I've owned a studio for 15 years and sold it during the pandemic. And now I own a teacher platform, and tomorrow launching my studio owner platform, which is very exciting. And I also just completed my 3rd level of life coaching. So I'm excited about that. I just love getting in the minds of these babies and these kids that are having a hard time right now, even though people are like, I'm tired of the word pandemic or whatnot. The aftermath of that is much greater now that we're teaching different different levels of emotional platforms as we have right now. So I love digging in deep to know what's going on in their minds and seeing what psychologists and therapists and all these people are saying around, so we can get better, so we can perform better, teach better, and all the good stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And agreed. I mean, I think that it's, I know before, there's a joke of people saying like, oh, we're all the things, we're the psychologist, we're the bookkeeper, we're the toilet cleaner, all of that,
Yeah.
which is true, we are. But I also think, yeah, it's part of our duty to like look at what is the socio-emotional right now, and what's the needs of the whole child or the whole student, not necessarily just the dance component, right? So absolutely love that. Miss Terry.
Hey, hey. Hi.
She's here too. Introduce yourself, my friend.
So I am Terry Mangiarotti. I own InSync Action Plans. We do lesson plans for preschool and classroom tools, skill cards, and business tools for your whole studio to kind of link what's happening in the classroom into your actual business, and how to make those things gel and work together so we can all financially get what we need out of our business. So so that's what I do. And of course, I own a studio, and we are also heading into our recital season, 8 big old recitals and 1,500 kids to get through that stage. So, great. It's all great.
It's beautiful. Everything's great. Yes, no, totally. It's all good. And then I have Miss Jessica. Introduce yourself.
Hi there, I'm Jessica Strong, and I am the owner of Dance to Learn. And like everyone else, I create preschool resources, primarily lesson plans and dance games, movement cards, things like that. I run a dance program out of a local rec center, and I'm also a princess for birthday parties, which is a lot of fun. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see me in different princess outfits. But that's just a quick little introduction about me.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, oh, I have to tell you, ladies, there was a comment that said we all look so beautiful today. I mean, thank you. Like, right. Okay, so let me add a little lipstick there. Okay, thank you. All right, my friends. So you came here today, now that you know everybody, you came here today to get some juicy tips when it comes to preschool and rec stuff. And as we are moving into, yes, the recital season, nationals are going to be coming our way, summer session, and then, my goodness, we all should be thinking about fall. I'm just saying, we should all be thinking about, I know, right? And sometimes I will tell you, it is hard because we have all of these things and it feels like our brain is already just to the brink of like shows, summer, teachers, hiring, right? All the things are in our brains. And so to think about fall, I kind of feel like, well, but it is really important that we're starting to think about that. So, and reflecting, this is something that I'm going to share with you, is like right now is the time for us to be reflecting on what went really well this year, especially in our preschool and rec program. I mean, across the board, but preschool and rec, what went really well, but what are some areas that maybe we could improve on, or that we struggled in, or hey, there's actually a gap here, and how do we bridge the gap? And so I think that today we're going to get a little bit of nuggets on, maybe it's even classroom management, maybe it's enrollment, maybe it's all those sort of things, but we're going to talk about it. So I'm just going to like surprise them. They don't even know who I'm going to call on to say like, what's your first nugget? So they're right. So we're going to start off with some nuggets. I know, please, no, not me. No. So I should just do the like, and wherever I am. Is that fair?
Whatever.
Okay, it landed on Miss Jessica. So Miss Jessica, what sort of juicy tip do you want to share with people that you see is maybe working or somebody forgets about when it comes to preschool and rec? What's something that you want to share with everybody today?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much I could share. Like, how much time do I have?
Well, I mean, we want to make sure everybody gets one. So, like,
Right.
let's pick one, and then if we have time, we'll come back around.
Sure. I would say this season for myself personally, for whatever reason, I felt really alone in my business. And so, one thing that I know for myself personally that I want to focus on is the importance of reaching out for help, because sometimes when we feel like we wear 500,000 hats, it's really hard uh, to put in quality work, and then the work kind of, you don't feel, hopefully what I'm saying is making sense. Like you feel like when you have help, you can delegate, you can say, I need somebody, because this season I had hired a dance teacher. I have struggles, like I have struggles like everyone. I hired a dance teacher, and halfway through the season, she was like, I'm leaving. I got a full-time job. And all of a sudden, I'm teaching 5 classes on Fridays on top of everything else that I'm doing. So I think just really making sure that we are, ooh,
You're okay.
that's weird. Okay. Making sure that we're delegating work and we're asking for help. I think it's really, really important, because when we're a studio owner, even a teacher, it can be lonely if we don't have the help, and it can be really really like you feel like you have a lot of weight on your shoulders, so that would be a big thing that I want to do for myself this next season, is really find a really good person that can help me with some admin and find somebody who really loves preschool to come in and help me with my own program, because I'm tired of teaching as much as I am. I love teaching, but I need a break.
Well, I think it's one of those things, we all are here. Every woman, every person here is Wonder Woman, right?
Mhm.
And we can do it all, but we shouldn't do it all. And, because let's be honest, we're probably the cream of the crop when it comes to dance studio owners, like being adaptable, overcoming, being creative. Like, how do we make solutions? So we're really good at that. But
Mhm.
we also, like you said, we need support. And it's okay to say, hey, I need some help with this. But people don't know if you don't ask.
Right.
No.
Right? Who on the live today can resonate with that? Right? Or, I know, right? Or the idea of, I have to do it because if I don't do it, it won't be right.
I'm such a control freak. That's me.
So, I could tell you totally resonates, with me sometimes even, and but yes, I think that's a really great thing to say. Oh yeah. Okay. We're getting some yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. Eyes closed. Okay. Miss Julie K.
I was like this. I'm following your hand like a dog with a treat. I got it.
So
All
good.
right.
Okay.
I'm thinking I've got a good one because I don't see this often on social media, if ever. You ready? Now that I'm not an owner and I'm a teacher, I see things completely different.
Different lens.
And now that I'm a mom, I've always been a mom pretty much forever, I feel like, is that I see a gap in when we advertise just a camp, like Bluey. Okay, let's say, because everybody's doing like bounce it with Bluey or breaking it down with Bluey, is that it's just an advertisement. Okay, there needs to be, for the first hour, we are going to be working on dance stuff, and there needs to be a video to show these parents, because they're like, Bluey camp, okay, it kind of sounds cool, but what's my kid gonna do? Because now I hear in the lobby, I'm in the lobby as a dance teacher now, not an owner, and they're like, we want to sign up for it, but we don't know what our kid's gonna do. It just says $275 for a week, yada, yada, yada. What are we going to do? So it needs to say, hey, I'm Miss Julie K. I am going to be teaching the Bluey camp right after recital. And I actually am, for real, not lying. And you know what? I've ordered the coolest hats that we're going to make. We're going to make our own Bluey hats, which means we're going to do our hip hop dance with our Bluey hat. And we're going to learn dance steps to help them, and musical theater and tap and jazz. They're going to learn so many different styles. So then you, as a parent, can figure out what is their favorite thing for fall. There's a huge gap in this. And I was thinking about the other day and I was like, you just advertise the Bluey thing. But what is it? So everything that I'm doing this summer, I'm going to set that up for success for next year, to then go, here's me working with the kids and we're making Bluey masks, or we're singing, or I'm reading a book, and all of these cool things need to be in there incorporated, so then they can see what the whole blueprint of a Bluey camp is, or Frozen, or whatever I don't know. I think it's a big gap, and I think we need to work on it.
I would 1,000% agree with you. The other day I was doing a couple audits for dance studio owners who were saying, hey, like, I don't know why my summer camps aren't filling. And I'm like, well, what's in it for them? What are the beliefs? What does the parent need to believe to say yes? Right. And so many times we get so busy on just well, I'm just going to put it out there and this is the camp. But we don't address that issue of what's the belief system? What do they need? What is the language? Are we talking about because they're in pain, or because they want pleasure from seeing their kid get ready for fall? Like, why are we doing it? Right. And then for them, what's the why? So I think that that's a fantastic tip, because right now we are seeing it so many times. It's just, and I'm not saying that straight advertisements don't have a place. They do. But
visuals are better.
We need more, right? And they need to connect. Okay. They have to connect with the why. So I absolutely love that. Okay.
And if a parent saw that, then they'd be like, oh, I know what it's like. And then they go, hey, Terry, hey, go on the Instagram. This is what the Bluey camp looks like. Like, don't you think we should do it together? Hey, let's call our mom group at church or the preschool. You see what I mean? Like, get your team. Come on. You know what I mean? I just think that we're missing some stuff.
Agreed. Okay. Now I have to go. Well, I can't necessarily do a circle because like there's only, whatever. So it's like okay. Terry.
Oh, it's so funny. So that I was nodding my head like a dog, like a little hood ornament, because I'm like, yes, that's exactly how I feel right now. This is exactly what I've been talking to my own staff about as we wind up our season. I'm going into all of our classes with this question in mind: is this worth it? Because as a parent, I know that that's how parents are looking at everything their kids are doing right now. As they're thinking about registering them for fall, registering them for summer. We're pushing that rollover registration, fall registration. But that parent, though, that is the question they're asking themselves: is it worth it? Is this worth it? And we do not have the connection of what's happening in the classroom to the parents. There's a disconnect of all this great stuff happening in the classroom, and then the advertising and the scheduling and what's happening in the business. And we're really losing that communication and that message of this, it is worth it, and this is why. Or we need to be training our staff to, you better make sure it's worth it. You better make sure what you're doing in that class is worth it. And there were definitely 90% of the classes that I watched in the past couple of weeks where it was worth it. And then a couple that I'm like, I don't know if that looked worth it. As a parent, if I'm watching that, you better go back and make that look like this year was worth it. Because it cost that was a lot of money that family just gave us. So let's make sure that it's worth it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a big lesson to learn. And a lot of times our teachers are tunnel vision on what's happening in the classroom, not thinking about that big picture. And us as the owner, we have to connect those dots. So there has to be communication around that for the owner, through social media, through emails, through parent education of what's happening in the studio when they're picking up their dancer. Are we going to the waiting room and saying, look at what we just learned today, or here's what's coming up next week, here are the skills that we gained today, here's our whatever you're using for a lesson plan, no matter whatever it is. We need to be communicating that to our families so they understand they're not going in there and just playing dance. Right. They don't know. They're not a dance teacher or a studio owner. We have to educate them. So that is kind of what I'm focused on, is the connection between what's happening in the classroom and the business, and making sure that is actually connected and seamless. I think that's something we can do as studio owners now. Is if we haven't had our classes yet and we're still actually have access to parents at our studios, to be making those connections before they leave. If you haven't had a recital yet, that's a chance to make those connections at recital. If you have the chance to speak at your recital, I'm often so surprised how often some of the studio owners that I mentor will have their big shows and never actually speak to their audience. And I thought about it for a while. There was a time where I was just so stressed, overwhelmed, didn't want to have to get up and speak at 10 recitals. And my husband was like, "Really? Like every client you have is going to be in the same room, but you're not going to get up there and say something?" I was like, "Dang it." So I had to go like forego the recorded audio thing, the welcome to the show, please take your seats. Like now I don't do that. It's me. So I can put a face to the business, communicate why we love what we do, thank our teachers, what's going on, make that connection for families so they feel like this is worth it, right? I think that's a really good question to ask. Is it worth it? Are we making sure it's worth it? And are we communicating why it's worth it?
100%. And I think that you brought up a great point in that as we're going into recital season, right? And sometimes one of the things that I see when I'm working with studio owners that gets missed at recital is the opportunity to sell to your people. Again, they're a captive audience. They are already there, right? So like, why aren't we at intermission or what, like at the beginning say, hey, like, we've got, Miss Jessica is in the lobby. And if you haven't gotten in on your summer camps, like now's the time. Why aren't we doing that? It's a miss, friends. And not that you're going to have 1,000 people come rushing to that table, but it's another little love tap and reminder, strike while the iron's hot. They should be like, in such like a place of just joy and happiness. And so why wouldn't they want to sign up while they're there if they've been holding off, right? Like that's a prime opportunity. So my friends, yes, you should be speaking at your recital and you should be selling, and not just selling flowers or teddy bears or whatever. I mean, selling what you do, what's the main thing? And that's classes, tuition, right? So like you should be out there selling it. Okay. I guess I don't need to necessarily do this. Becca, what's something like that you want to share when it comes to
let's see. So being in the whole recital thing right now and piggybacking off of what you guys are saying, one thing that I've been focusing on this last couple of weeks of class is talking about, about the worth of it, right? Telling the kids, even the 3 and 4-year-olds, the recital is really great. Can you imagine you just did a whole year of dance? That is what you guys have accomplished. It's not like a sport, really, that you're doing for a few months. You've done it for a whole year. You should be really proud of yourself, and so, really reinforcing that even at the younger ages and at the older ages too, because they need stuff to feel proud of too. That it's not just no matter what happens at the recital, because everybody knows we don't know what's going to happen at the recital. For me, truthfully, I feel like my kids have gotten worse the last month. I don't know what's happening.
we'll talk about that real quick.
But, that's just, it's the facts. When they're really young, we don't know what's going to happen when they get on stage. They're going to get that trophy. And yeah, we talk about that. You're going to get a trophy. But look what you did all year. And how did you do that? You worked hard. You didn't push a button on a phone. You did the work. You did it. So I'm really big on giving them that power and feeling that pride. And of course, hopefully taking that back to their parents, who will then see the worth and the value in the classes and sign them up for summer and sign them up for next year to add another class and that. And then just like a couple of little things. I mean, actual working things that I do, get them ready for recitals. fun little games like with the older kids. We'll do. I didn't think that this would work, but it actually does. I think especially with rec kids, you have them do the dance as bad as they can, and then let them do it as great as they can, and it really works. I love doing that. That doesn't really work as much with the little kids, but once they're like 8 and up, it works. With the littler ones, I like to do like they're dancing and I freeze the music at any time and see if they're all on the same step in their dance. And then I also like to bring out the little Beanie Babies, and that's their audience, and then they get to play a game with them. So those are just fun little things I do, but
Yeah, I love it. I have to tell you, what you just mentioned is actually so valuable in that I just had this conversation, similar conversation with my daughter, because her studio that she dances at, their recital is until June 24th, but she, about 5 weeks ago, bless this child, she was putting on her tap shoes in class and she slipped and sprained her knee. Right. And so we kind of were like the doctor and the physical therapist and all the things and like hoping, and they were like, she's not doing recital this year. Right. And so last night she was like, from picking and crying. I'm like, okay, well, but that doesn't mean that you don't still get to participate. Hey, like you can still, if you want to, you can still go out and do the bow. You still take your pictures with your, classmates. You still can have the memory of recital. It might not be the memory that you wanted necessarily, right? But this is a teachable moment. But we talked about that. Like recital is just 2 days of your life where you spent the whole year in class. And like, look at all that you've accomplished in this year. So while it's disappointing, right? Let's not undervalue all the work that you did this year. So it's so funny not funny, but like that you brought that up, because I'm like, we literally had that conversation on the car ride home last night about, what is the year? What has the year been for you? Okay. What I'd like to do real quick also is I'm going to do another, no, I just want to go around fast, because I think also if we could give just one like teaching actionable tip, like in the classroom, I think that would be really great too. One of the things that I have been, if your enrollment, let me know in the comments below. What are your questions when it comes to preschool and rec? Not that we'll be able to answer them right now on the spot, but we can come back in and do some chat stuff. So I think that'll be good. But also, how are you feeling right now, my friends, as we're going in the system? So I've had some people tell me that enrollment this summer has been a struggle getting parents who are current clients to actually enroll for the summer, because they feel kind of like after the pandemic, people kind of like decision fatigue still, and like they want to have the ease of like, oh, we're gonna go when we want to go, and like we'll get there. So like one of the things that I've seen for your current clients, if you guys are not doing it, which is so simple to do, because we know people get FOMO, right? Like it's a real thing. And no matter if you've sent out email blasts and social media posts and text message and all the things, you still have those families who are like, oh, we haven't decided yet, right, on what we're going to do. So as you're leading up, now I know some people are going to recital and that might be kind of like an end date, but what you can do is, how many people have a little A-frame board, the little sandwich boards that they have? You could do like chalk paint. So when you have people sign up for summer, you want to highlight them like, we're so excited to see, and you list the names and it's at the front door. And let me tell you, the kids get so excited. They're like, oh, I'm on the board. And like, they want to take a picture with it. And like, it seems so silly, but those little details matter. And then the parents come and they're like, oh, I haven't done that yet. Oh, her bestie is already signed up. I better do this. right? And you will see that little uptake. Now, you could do that for other things when you have trials come in, whatever. But right now, we want to highlight, like, what is the thing that you're doing? And if you're enrolling for summer, highlight the people who've done what they're supposed to do, and others will follow, just like kids. Okay. So, Miss Julie K, what's a teaching moment? What's a teaching thing that you could share real quick?
Okay, I'm actually glad you said this because I have been teaching Mommy and Me's all year. Like I'm going to say probably 15 Mommy and Me's. Like I just love it. Like I literally could teach it all day long. I mean, it's my new love. And I've done it before, but it's just really my love right now. So I have my little Sadie who's like, Miss Julie K, I'm really scared when you turn the lights out and we practice walking on stage. Like she's scared to death. So I'm like, okay, so you have to put your light goggles on. Okay. So we have our little light goggles. And so we've been practicing this, and we've been practicing it all year. So then by the time recital gets there, then they're not like, it's the dark. I mean, I'm 44 and still scared of the dark. So they have to put their little light goggles on that help shine at night. So my little Sadie comes on. She's got her goggles. She's walking on in the dark. She turns around. The lights go on. The whole time she does her dance like this because I forgot to take your
goggles off.
I was like, Sadie, take the light goggles off. She goes, no, I can't see, Miss Julie K. I just can't see.
Oh my God.
So, but what was so cute is that it's like one of those things where it's like, I'm going to change it for the classroom. And it's a tip to say that we need to focus our focus goggles on, that we're really going to just like focus in. And instead of saying, shh, shh, quiet, everybody's too loud. Or I do have a whistle as well. Don't judge. Because I'm Coach JK too. So sometimes I'm just kidding. Get it? But not really. Is that they have their focus goggles on. And so I'll put them up. And that means kind of like Girl Scouts honor that they all put them up, that they know that they're focused. And so that's my tip for you guys this summer.
I don't know if one of the other ladies, there was a question. What's your favorite tip for cleaning dances for threes and unders? Who wants to take that one? Oh, everyone's like, not me. She wants to. Okay.
Go, Becca, go.
Becca,
Well,
go
I
for
was going to say, cleaning dances for 3 and under. So it's not going to happen. To a point where, like I said, they're attention spans. It's only going to get worse. You can't keep doing the dance over and over and over again. Like even when I'm doing my videos for my material, everyone's like, oh, you didn't schedule very much time to do this video. I'm like, that's because we're going to do it in like 2 takes. It's not going to get better. So, like I said before, like doing a little fun game, like where you freeze in the middle. If you want to pick one part of the dance each week to focus on, and then do the dance one time, that's for that age. That's what I would say. And like I said, make something fun with it. Have a Beanie Baby that watches. Oh, and if your Beanie Baby likes it, you get to play a game afterwards. I think at that age, we want them to just be on stage and
not
your pants. But I understand you wanting to make it as clean as possible. Believe me, I do. I want that too.
Becca, what if you're 44 and you still pee your pants?
I mean,
well, you're going to, because now you're 44 and you have
those babies. I mean,
I love you, Becca. No, the only thing I was going to say is that, we're doing Loco Legs this year from the Fresh Beat Band. I got, we got. So I basically make sure that the chorus is the same every time. So if they at least fail in the verse, my God, they got the chorus, right? But they laugh because they're like, why, Miss Julie K, why did we do that song twice? And I'm like, you know what? We do it in circle time and then we do it in our straight line time. So, but I just make it, like, first of all, trying to clean a 3 and 4-year-old, that would be like me trying to eat a green salad. It's just not going to happen. I agree. Like, I can't eat anything green. It's fine. I'll die with my water and my Swedish fish and powdered donuts. But besides that, just have them do it a couple of times, just round 1, round 2. And you know what? You rate them. I always say, you know what? Okay, we get a gold star for this one. Oh, it's kind of a faded gold star on this one. We didn't do as good. Can we do it again? You know what I mean? Or like, we got 2 stickers for that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I was just going to add that I think that for the preschool routines, I don't think the magic is going to be in the cleaning. The magic is going to be in the choreography. Because if, they can't do quick transition. Sometimes I think we over choreograph our preschool routines, and they need to be so simple. And you need to actually let them process that they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Mhm.
So those alternating heels need to happen 16 times so that they catch up. You know what I mean? You can't do 4 and then toes. They're not going to. Yeah, you need, so in the cleaning is in the choreography. And then the magic is you can't clean a routine. You only can do it a couple times. Like somebody had just said, they do it super good once or twice, and that's it. That's where their attention span will leave them because they're bored. If they only do it once or twice in a class, then you might actually hold their attention span. So it's more, the magic isn't in the cleaning. If you're at the point where we need to clean the routine, the problem is somewhere else. So we need to fix that part of it.
One of the other things that I would mention here is that you can clean it till the cows come home in your classroom. And when they go on stage, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to anyway. So don't stress yourself out. I mean, we have to do our best, right? And we have to work on it. But really, you have to release the idea that those parents are judging you. Because honestly, because that's what it really kind of boils down to. It boils down to the parents are expecting it to look good, and they're expecting it to, they've been here. And if it doesn't, I don't know. It feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but that's really not the case, right? They just want to see their baby on stage. That's it. And they will love when something goes wrong, because that is where the magic and the joy is, when someone's like, hey mom, the whole 90 seconds of the dance or whatever, right? That's where
we never share the perfect recital routine. We do the one where the rubber ducky fell off the stage, and we're like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, right? Yes, it's just a win if they're on stage in a beautiful costume and not crying or peeing their pants. I mean, that's the win, right? So
right,
I mean,
and you can always salvage a preschool routine by having them twirl and curtsy by themselves, run away. Twirl, curtsy by themselves, run away. That's all they need to do. And they could have stood still for the entire routine, but they twirl, curtsy, run and wave. Then their parents are happy.
Yes.
With the goggles on.
Love it. Okay, with the goggles on. All right. So, Terry, do you have another little teaching tip that you want to share? I know we kind of all been juggling back and forth, so it's great. But
I know. Well, I love working with the rec kids. I feel like I feel like so many of us studio owners wise spend too much time worrying about our competitive kids, our intensive kids, the competitions and nationals and blah, blah, blah. If you can get somebody else to deal with that so that you can focus on the real part of your studio, which are the preschoolers and the rec kids, and that's really what you should be doing. But those rec kids are not that far off from preschoolers. Get the routines, do it a couple times, call it a day. Drilling is not where you really want to spend the last few classes of the season. So I like to just go backwards with them. We start when you're going to drill, clean it up at the end. Start with their ending pose, rewind 2 8 counts, then start from there to the end. Rewind 2 8 counts from there to the end. So I feel like you can always tell a routine that a teacher that cleans from beginning to end, because that last quarter of the routine is never quite as clean as the first quarter. You know what I mean? So once it's done, start cleaning from the back end, from the pose, previous 2 8 counts, so that we really kind of get them to focus their sequencing and all of that and clean up the end of the routine. The best, ends up being just as strong as the first, if not stronger. And then the other thing I guess we're talking about I just went to cleaning routines. I don't know why, but something I like to tell the rec kids that work for first grade and up, I like to use this example when I'm going in to help a teacher clean a routine, is that we are dancers, are artists that make pictures with our bodies. So if you want something to be super clean and detailed, what kind of a marker or what kind of a paintbrush would you use? I don't know why this works for them, but it does. We'd use the really skinny one, like a really sharpened pencil or a skinny marker or the smallest paintbrush. So I have them do their dance just like Becca was saying, their worst. Like you were using a fat a fat paintbrush or the fattest marker, and their picture is going to be all kind of messy and big. And now do the whole dance like you're a fine tip felt marker, and all of a sudden they pull up and their toes are a little pointy and their arms are a little stronger, and they're like making a clean, detailed picture on the stage. So I like to use that analogy with them or imagery with them, and it tends to work for some reason and get them to start thinking that like they are an artist making art with their bodies, and like what kind of instrument do you want to use. So I like that tip. That's one that works for me.
I love it. I love it. Jessica.
Hi.
You.
So I kind of want to circle back to summer camps. I want to share something that has worked for me because I have spent $0 on advertising summer camps for like the past, I don't know, 3 summers. So what works for me in my program, I think I mentioned that I own a princess company. We do birthday parties, and our big summer camp is Princess Summer Camp, and then we do like a ballet story time summer camp. And so what I do that works, because Julie Kay was talking about, we need to give the parents a visual on what is my kid going to do. Every month for the entire year, we do a 1-day class, an hour-long class, and it circles back to our summer camps. So, for example, we'll do Cinderella ballet class, and all the kids will come. It'll be just Cinderella Day. I dress up. I teach a Cinderella ballet class. They all get, I wish I had an example. They all get a little card. I autograph the card as the princess, and on the back it has all of our information on birthday parties, summer camps, all of that stuff. They get a card, and we do a different princess every single month. And what works about it is the kids get so excited. And I always tell parents, look, we have 15 spots in our camps. That's it. And they only, I work with the rec center. We only have 3 weeks for camp, so it's one camp and that's it. We open up our summer camp enrollment in like January. It's crazy, and it sells out day one. We've had a wait list on our camp for like 6 months. But if you can find a time. We usually do it on like holiday weekends is the best time, because we usually wouldn't hold a class on a holiday weekend anyway. And we'll just open up a princess ballet class or whatever to kind of give them a little sneak peek at the summer camp. And they sell out, and so it's good extra money too, just like in the off time of your studio, if you're not doing anything, might as well just run a little day camp. I love it. It's so much fun. So just a little idea.
One of the things that I think is great is really thinking about the intentionality of the why behind what you're doing. So you're doing the dressing, being a princess once a month, right? Because your intention is, I'm going to plant the seeds every single month. So then when summer comes, it's going to sell out. Right.
Yeah.
So that is the big nugget there, my friends. It's the intentionality of this is what I'm doing and the why behind what I'm doing. Right. Not just because there's an actual reason. Okay. Now I know we've gone a little bit long today, but with all of this goodness here, we couldn't just cut it off. Now I have to tell you guys, I don't know, let me know in the comments below. Did you know that all of us plus a few extra friends are going to be in September? We're going to be hosting Under the Big Top, which is going to be, I think, bananas, like in the best way possible, because we are focusing on preschool and rec. That is it. That is what we are focusing on. Preschool and rec only. Both sides. We are going to be focusing on teachers. How do we, helping with the skill sets that you need inside the classroom, but also studio owners. And we're going to be talking about the business side and what it means. And so that is why you have this, we have a mashup of the faculty is created the way it is because every person brings something really amazing to the table. Okay. I mean, my goodness, like we are going to be, number one, there's going to be sessions there that you definitely will not see anywhere else. There are going to be mashups of us teaching together, co-teaching. Yes, we wanted it to be a fun theme, right? Because like, who wants a preschool and rec thing to not be fun? I mean, hello. Okay, so it is happening. I've dropped the link in the chat below. Now, I have to tell you guys, my friends, this is a super limited, thing. We only had 80 spots. We only have like 20 something left. It's happening September 23rd and 24th in Atlanta. Okay, y'all. So easy to get to. And my friends, if you have teachers that you think could use a little extra love, if you're like, hey, I also want to, one of my focuses on the coming season is really getting my preschool and rec dialed in and really focusing on that. I think, like you said, Terry, I've had a lot of studio owners coming to me and saying, I realize that I've been putting so much focus on my competitive team. And when I look at things objectively, I actually should be focusing on my preschool and my rec. And how do we fix that problem? And so this weekend is going to be the bee's knees, y'all. And it is really going to give you the tools that you need to go back to your studio and implement right away, right? All the good nuggets. You ladies, any little things that you guys want to say about Under the Big Top? I think that it's going to be like, it's going to be bananas.
I mean, we just had a meeting about it, so it was kind of cool that we literally just had a meeting the hour before. And what's cool is that we're creating content that is going to be in a Canva workable link for you to be able to just really put your logo on it and really you go. I mean, that's what we're talking about, just making your life easier as a teacher, especially as an owner. You have to find these teachers that are going to want to stick to your program, right? So it's a good idea to get the teacher that is like fresh, green, maybe 1 or 2 years. And you're like, okay, how do I do this? You know what? This is actually the conference you want to go to because it's in that wheelhouse. That's what I'm going to say. I mean, it's hard because what are you as an owner really going to take 2 weeks out to train them or take them to a conference that's maybe, I mean, I know it's only 2 days, but at least it's 2 days of exactly what you need, not just 1 or 2, 3 classes. It's like, okay, wow. And we're all going to be there to help you at round tables going, okay, what is it that you need? What are you struggling with? Right? I can't wait. I'll sit and straddle. I'll sit down. We'll listen. We'll cry. We'll hug. We'll wear our goggles. We can do it.
I mean, hijinks may ensue. I don't know. But because, we like to have fun. But I think that I really do. I think that it's going to be, I know, Kathy, we're so excited that you are going to be there under the Big Top. I know. I'm so excited.
September 23rd and 24th.
September 23rd and 24th in Atlanta. We have an amazing host studio that's going to, I know it's going to be so great. There's lots of stuff around it, and we were really intentional on where we wanted to have this and
Revolution Costumes they're going to bring some costumes too. I think that's exciting.
It is super exciting. I mean,
I know.
I love costumes. I
mean, I might wear one. I'm just going to try on an extra small just to see if it fits. I mean, ladies, it will be after August on my group here. Hey.
Oh, you're right. I know, right? It's going to be different.
Okay.
So funny. Okay. Any other little love notes about this? I mean, you guys, I have to tell you, like, some of the team ups and the topics that we have chosen, because we listen. All of us are here in the industry talking to studio owners, talking to dance teachers, and like we listen to what the challenges are. We listen to where we feel like there's some gaps and say, oh, we're having problems with it. And so there's a request for next year for us to do it in Massachusetts, just so you know. I mean,
we can do that.
But we love that we're all of your favorites. That makes our heart so happy. But yes, my friends, I would say this is something that's going to kind of change the lives of so many people here. And I mean, it's going to be so good. Like, I just can't. I don't know. Any other final notes before we leave?
But you can.
I mean, I can't, but I can, and I will. And it's going to be so good. You guys, like, the team.
I'll say something.
Like, I got something to say.
I'll say something. So I'm really excited. The timing of this is really fun. I've only ever done one other dance teacher conference where I spoke. So I'm super excited that this is kind of like my first like it's 2 days, but I consider it a conference, and I'm
Of
very
course.
excited. But on September 15th, I'm turning 40, which I feel like is a big milestone. And I feel like this is going to be a super fun, like dance teacher birthday celebration, like I'm just so excited that this is going to be my first big thing in my 40s. So yeah, so
So
come
good.
It's only
celebrate
just begun.
Jessica shares a birthday with my oldest daughter and my sister.
Aw,
And my
yay.
sister, yes, both September
Mhm.
15th. So good. So good. All right, my friends. Any other last parting words? Okay. So we're going to leave you there, my friends. I hope that you guys got some nuggets. Let us know. If you come back on the replay, we want to know that as well. Let us know your thoughts and let us know if you have some other things that pop up in your brain that you want questions, drop them in. Oh, thank you. The comment was from Kayla. I'm gonna share it because it's like makes my heart so happy. It was, you guys are wonderful and magical, and thank you all so much for the advice and ideas. That makes my heart so happy. Yay. That's our whole goal here. And our goal is really to share because we all truly believe that we're better together. And we want every studio owner, every dance educator, every student to have the best possible education, business, life, right? And so we just want to be there to support you guys. So we're going to leave you there. I hope that you all have a fantastic day. Now, I have to tell you guys something though, real quick. I am actually going to be switching up for the summer season, my live schedule. So I will not be coming on live on Wednesdays. We are switching it to Friday mornings because of my crazy summer schedule. So it's going to be Friday mornings, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, but we will send out more information to y'all. And I will hopefully see you guys again next week. So have a wonderful time. Thank you so much, my friends. And I will talk